Good evening, life groups. I hope you guys are doing well and have had a great week so far. We had an amazing time on Sunday talking about the sin of David with Bathsheba. I'm obviously slowing down a lot and just covering one chapter per week for these 2 weeks. We'll speed things up after that as we get to the rest of David's life. But I really thought it was important to examine sin in our lives, repentance in our lives through these couple of weeks. And so not a lot of fun stuff that we talked about on Sunday, but really necessary things. And we had a blast Sunday. I know if you were in second service, I hope that you were maybe able to go back and listen to first. It was a very different experience. And for those who were uninformed, we had a fire alarm going off in the sanctuary, in the sanctuary. No fire, but just the alarm going off in the sanctuary during second service. It was awesome. But the Lord showed up anyway and blessed the time in His Word. With these videos, my hope is to just give you a little more background behind each question. So you guys, sometimes I write these questions and I feel like I got to give all the context of how it fits into the sermon. I want to do that with these videos. And so your first question is talking about kind of what are those things that in our life that we kind of, we talked about desire and temptation. It's going to come your way. And according to James chapter 1, desire conceives sin. So if desire is going to be there anyway, what are the partners that we provide to desire to conceive sin with? What are the patterns, habits, things that we allow into our lives that are a breeding ground for sin? And so we saw a lot of those things in David's life. I want you to kind of point those things out and maybe give examples of what that looks like in our lives. And along the same veins, our second question has to do with excuses that we make for sin. I think David had to make a lot of justifications for his sin in his mind on his way, all those little compromises along the way that he had on his way towards sin. And so we have that in there as well. We had another question as well, just examples of what it looks like to see sin all the way through. So we looked at the passage in Proverbs chapter 7. Something I wish David had done and something I wish I would do more often is not just think about, how good this sin would feel, how fulfilling, how satisfying it would be, but, what are the consequences of this sin? How am I going to feel afterwards? How could this undo my life, my family, my ministry? And so to think through the end, what does sin actually accomplish in my life after the fun of sin is over with? And then our last question is something I don't think I really got to hit on at all in second service, and just a little bit in first service. How do the cross and the resurrection play into our battle against sin, right? And so I want you to think through these things. I think most of us are mature believers. We want to bring the gospel, the cross, into everything. So what does the cross have to do, not just with the forgiveness of my sins, but how does the forgiveness of my sins on the cross, how does the power of the resurrection, how do those things affect the way that I fight sin, the way that I implement preventative measures in my life for sin? So I want you to spend that last question just talking about the cross and the resurrection, the beauty of the gospel in our fight against sin. So hope that helps provide some context and direction for your questions and for your discussions tonight. Love you guys. I hope no fire alarms go off during your life groups. Have a great time.